Hi, my name is Jonathan Woods. I'm a professional designer and entrepreneur, and the title of this video is not clickbait. Adobe did actually help pay for my college tuition, more specifically, my last year of college. And they'll help pay for yours too, but you do kinda gotta convince them first. If you haven't heard of it before, there's this new scholarship and mentorship program called the Adobe Design Circle, which is a collaboration between Adobe and the Institute of International Education. It's a really cool idea created to help generate more equity in the area of design schooling and the design field in general. If you get selected, you get the scholarship money, obviously, access to dozens of mentors who are masters of their design fields, free Creative Cloud subscription, and you get flown. They fly you out to Adobe Max and you get to meet your fellow winners and all your mentors, which I was super hyped about, but pandemic. Now, I applied for the 2020 scholarship year, and out of over 900 international applicants, I was selected along with 9 other design geniuses. Like seriously, I felt so out of place with my classmates just because they're all super smart, super talented, and doing insane things you would not believe. But hey, you could be one of those 10 this year getting your school paid for. And I know top 1% kind of sounds like insane odds, and rightfully so, but there's tons of things you can do to make yourself stand out on your application. And that's why I'm here. I'm going to show you the exact techniques and strategies I used on my application so that you can put your spin on them and make sure that you're advertising yourself in the best way possible. Why am I even doing this, you're probably wondering? Well, I've received tons and tons of messages from people asking for help on their application, and I'm so sorry I couldn't get to everyone. Life is crazy post-grad, let me tell you. So this vid is especially for you guys. Okay, just so I don't waste any more of your time, here are the requirements for application. So if this is you, then great, keep watching the video. If it isn't, maybe you have a friend you can send this to. They'll love you forever, I promise. But without further ado guys, let's get into these application tips and tricks. So there are 7 steps you need to do in order to complete the entire application. Out of those steps, there's only 3 I can really help you with. The other 4 are just straightforward documentation requirements. Let's start with the first one here. A personal written or video statement of approximately 500 words or up to 3 minutes in length. Guys, this one is a trap. It's a trick question to weed out like 75% of applicants. Why is this? Well, in my opinion, you only really have one option here to significantly increase your chances of success. And that option is the video statement. As designers, we have to think about our audience, right? Well, think about the judges of these applications. They're people, and they have to comb through 1,000 of these things. Put yourself in their shoes for a second. Wouldn't you be much more likely to make a connection with someone who sent you a video statement where you could see their face and hear the passion in their voice about design versus reading another one out of the 1,000 that got sent in? I mean, come on. It's all about leaving an impression, and creating a video statement is gonna give you much more runway to leave that impression. And I know what you're thinking.
Jonathan, I don't know how to make a video.
I don't have any video recording equipment.
I don't have a lighting setup.
Guys, you don't need any of that, I promise. I literally used my MacBook Pro webcam and did my edits in Premiere Pro, which I know you more than likely have because you're probably a Creative Cloud user too. I just typed up my script and read it with enthusiasm into the little laptop camera in my dorm room. Terrible lighting, terrible everything. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and watch it right now just so you know I'm not playing with you. Okay, so I got the video pulled up right here and oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Let's just do it. This is for the good of the community. Hi, my name is Jonathan Woods. I'm a junior at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, pursuing a BFA in graphic design with a minor in entrepreneurship. And this is my video response for the Adobe. I mean, like, I'm literally in my dorm room. That's my roommate's bed behind me. This was my first project. Dunk is an after-school program designed by me and 16 of my other classmates. We created it for the students of Vine Middle School, which is located in the heart of a low-income area in downtown Knoxville. Also learning about design career paths at a relatively early age. So this is a perfect example of how design can educate, in this case, kids. This was my second project. My African Union passport is a good example of how design can be used to inform. The new African Union passport allows the holder to travel through all of Africa's countries without needing a visa for each one. And this was my third project here. Lastly, my Fresh Funnel application is a good example of how design can be used to reform. Fresh Funnel is a food waste reduction assistant that rewards you for conserving food. The interface is designed to be easy to use for everyone so that it can be mass implemented at the household level. And that's where I believe reform and real change starts. It's at the individual level, and then it expands from there so that one day we really can be a zero-waste society. At the end of the day, I enjoy solving problems, making unsuspected connections, and coming up with beautiful solutions. I'm extremely interested in identity design and branding, how a mark or a visual entity can really be something that someone wants to be a part of has always intrigued me. Additionally, I'm working on a multi-vendor e-commerce platform for high-end streetwear vendors with my business partner. I am no longer doing that. I'm doing other things now though. So I would say another career goal of mine would be to expand that business, to develop it, and then also create other businesses in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, design to educate, inform, and reform. Oh man. Okay, we won't watch all of it, but there you have it, guys. That's what I sent them, and that's what they chose. Like, nothing flashy. You can use your phone camera, like, use whatever, guys. Just please, please, please try to make a video. I promise you it's going to give you a huge advantage. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't get in with a written statement, but your pen game better be like Pulitzer Prize level. Okay, next up is the reference letters. This one's funny because it's technically the most out of your control, but my tip for you is very simple. So they ask for 2 reference letters. The letters must come from non-family members who know you well. For example, a teacher, instructor, professor, employer, supervisor, blah, blah, blah. Just don't get a reference from your auntie or your parents, basically. So my tip for you on this one is actually hinted in the requirement itself. They ask for 2 references, right? Just make sure you pick 2 references that you have 2 different relationships with. 2 references, 2 relationships, okay? So for example, if your first reference is a professor, try not to pick another professor for your second reference. Go for an employer or internship supervisor or somebody. Like, they give you plenty of examples in the requirement itself. The key is to diversify. The main reason for this is that your teacher sees different sides of you than your internship supervisor would, for example. Your teacher may see your inquisitive nature or leadership qualities, while your supervisor may see your aptitude or your drive or your work ethic, things like that. And that naturally will reflect in both of their references about you, which will ultimately give you more apparent character dimension that the judges will see. And I mean, it just looks good straight up to have a teacher and employer both on your side saying awesome things about you. And full disclosure, I grabbed a professor and a internship supervisor for my personal application. All right, lastly, we got the portfolio, the head honcho of your application. Now, there's countless strategies and ways you can make the most out of these 3 pieces you're allowed to show, and I'm sure all of my fellow design circle colleagues had different reasons for selecting the pieces they did, but I'm going to tell you what my personal strategy and thought process was. In short, my biggest recommendation to you is that your portfolio pieces directly support your written or video statement, and vice versa. Now, if you remember back to my video statement, I gave my definition of what design meant to me, and my answer was that I believed it should be used to educate, inform, and cause reform. In that video, I explained these ideas while using my portfolio pieces as support. The Dunk program went with educate, the African Union passport went with inform, and the Fresh Funnel app went with reform. No matter how you respond to the video statement or whatever your interests in design are, make sure your submitted work reflects those things. So if design for you is all about positive social reform, 1 to 2, probably more like 2 of your pieces need to be about positive social reform, without question. Your portfolio should effectively be proof that you're serious about your interest in design and that you've already put hours of meaningful work into these areas, and more importantly than that, that you're capable of producing more work in the future. Please keep in mind that the design circle focuses on UI UX design as well. Personally, I only had one quote-unquote UI UX project in my portfolio, and that was my Fresh Funnel app. After you've picked your relevant and best projects, it's time to describe them, which is literally always easier said than done, right? My tip for you when describing your projects is to start with the problem that they solve. I chose to frame mine as questions. For example, how do you teach design thinking to middle schoolers? But you don't necessarily have to frame it that way. Just make it crystal clear what each project is intended or designed to do. Notice how I literally have the question in a larger type size and bolded and italicized, so there's absolutely zero chance of them missing the point. Don't make them have to figure it out, do the work for them and make it obvious. In terms of submitting your portfolio, there isn't a single right answer, but personally I went with the website route. It allowed me to have some good control over image sequencing and written descriptions. Just pick your favorite website builder, snag one of the portfolio templates, keep it simple with the customization so that your work doesn't get drowned out, and boom, you're done. I went with Wix because I was super familiar with the platform and it was totally free. See, there's even like banner ads in the header. Like, the judges do not care, guys. It's all about your work and how you sell it. Okay, I think that is all the tips I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed, drop a like on this video so more of our design friends can see it. Share it with your friends who may be going for the scholarship as well. Who knows, maybe I'll both get in. And I already know I'm gonna get tons of comments like,
Well, if everybody knows the tips, then it's not really gonna help anybody. Why would I share the video with people I'm competing with?
guys, we're all in this thing together, and these are just very general tips to help get you started. At the end of the day, it's up to you as a designer to take this knowledge, put your own spin on it, and figure out creative ways to sell yourself so that Adobe will want to pay for your school too, dude. Follow me on Instagram at jonathan.woods and hit me up with any other questions you may have, or if you have any video ideas, go ahead and drop those down in the comment section as well. If I get enough requests for a design topic, I'll do my best to make a vid on it. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Best of luck to those applying for the scholarship this year, or if you're watching this from the distant future, best of luck to you too. Peace.